respect he deserved because he still wasn't treated as an equal just because of the color of his skin. He still had to sit on the back of the bus. He had to drink from certain water fountains. He wasn't allowed into certain restaurants. Music quickly spread throughout the radio. Harlem was a really hot spot for music. Some of the big names there are Cab Calloway and Duke Ellington. Harlem was also home to painters, poets, intellectuals, and writers. And this creative movement was later called the Harlem Renaissance. It lasted for about 20 years and changed where you sit right now and your culture around you. It changed that forever, just by those 20 years. So in the 1930s, swing developed, and in the 1940s, bebop developed. Bebop developed because in New York, they got tired of the old predictableness of swing. So that's when bebop developed. And a few names in bebop are Thelonious Monk, Kenny Clark, Matt Roach, and Ray Brown. In the 1950s, jazz, cool jazz, and hard bop developed. East Coast jazz was more bluesy, and West Coast jazz was a lot more mellow. In 1960, soul jazz became the music of the Black Power movement, and the technological revolution steered jazz toward fusion, which eventually led to rap. Jazz also reflected the feelings and emotions of civil rights like a mirror. So let's talk about the present of jazz. Jazz is still evolving today. Truly, even all those lists of songs I named earlier, they are even still being played today, and jazz itself as a genre is still evolving and coming together. But there's a lot of jazz in the music that you and I listen to today. Like, there's rap. Some of the artists like Jay-Z uses a lot of jazz, and Kanye West, they use a lot of jazz underneath the surface of their music. And it's even in R&B. Artists like Alicia Keys and Monica have a lot of jazz. And artists such as, in rap, it's also used rhythmically. So off of the information I gave you, where do you think jazz is going? Anyone?
It's going in an evolving direction. It's going to change a lot in the next few years.
Anyone?
Sounds like it's going to just kind of branch off and be kind of a jumble of sounds.
Jumble of sounds. Well, jazz is really evolving, and some people might say, you know, it's dying, but you know, jazz will never die because it's part of so many different musical genres today. It's even part of, you know, rock and roll and classical. So jazz is a really important part of our history and our culture. Thank you.